Marvel's Avengers makes you feel like a Marvel's Avengers. Whoa, thought I was watching IGN there for a second, but no, this is the heavy spoilers show. As always, I'm your host Definition, and throughout this video we're going to be breaking down everything that you need to know about the new game Marvel's Avengers. There will be heavy spoilers here, so if you haven't played it yet and don't want anything ruined, then I recommend that you turn off now. If you love this video 3000, then please drop a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for breakdowns like this every day. With that out of the way, thank you for clicking this. Now let's get into Marvel's Avengers. Okay, so Avengers opens on A-Day, which is a celebration of the infamous group. They've just unveiled a new HQ in San Francisco, along with a brand new helicarrier known as the Chimera. The Chimera is the first craft of its kind, and we learn that it's powered by a new energy source known as the Terrigen Crystal. The celebrations quickly turn to frowns faster than when Thanos said you should have gone for the head, and a terrorist group led by Taskmaster descend on the party, destroying the Golden Gate Bridge in the process. To make matters worse, the Chimera explodes, and the crystal releases Terrigen mist, which transforms the crowd of people into Inhumans. Captain America is seemingly killed in the explosion, and the Avengers are blamed for everything. Yes, everything, even all of 2020. We pretty much get an endgame-esque 5-year time jump and learn that under the testimonial of Bruce Banner, the group decided to go their separate ways, and a company called AIM have stepped in to find a cure for what they call the Inhuman disease. Led by George Talton, they aim to save the world, but throughout the game we learn that they're actually the bad guys. Spoiler alert. We discover that Kamala, a young teen, was infected by the Terrigen mist during A-Day, and because of this, she's given the power of elasticity. This allows your body to be able to stretch and grow, and it's a bit like one of my body parts that can stretch and grow as well. I shouldn't have said that in the video, I'm sorry. Now after she's given leaked info about AIM from someone known as Tiny Dancer, we pretty much follow her as she uncovers the truth about that day whilst getting the band back together. Now from the off, I will say that whether you think the game itself is good or not, the storyline is absolutely brilliant, and it's pretty much a must-buy if you're a Marvel maniac. There's a lot of flashes of Civil War in here, and that's my favourite comic book run ever, so I really appreciated the approach to the characters that showed them for who they really were. Empires are only ever brought down from the inside, and the game does a fantastic job of fleshing out their relationships and why the world needs the Avengers. I was also one of those idiots that was angered. Well, not angered, but I just thought it was stupid that Kamala was going to be the main character in an Avengers game, and I'm so glad that I was proven wrong, as she's the perfect person to follow. Her powers work brilliantly, and seeing the Avengers through the eyes of someone who marvels them as much as we do is really great. I bet IGN wouldn't do a Marvel pun that bad. Now, she and Bruce Banner are a really great team that I would never have put together, but they work really well, and slowly they put everything back to how it was. They retrieve Jarvis, meet Tony at an incredible mission at his mansion, and discover the Resistance led by Hank Pym, aka Ant-Man. After being guilt-tripped by one of the Resistance members, Khan raids an AIM prison, but she's captured, and she wakes up to discover Tarleton's partner Monica discussing how the Inhuman cure does not work. It's here that the pieces really start to come together, and we discover that she and Tarleton, who's pretty much MODOK at this point, have created machines known as adaptoids. They're pretty much like the Sentinels from the start of Days of Future Past, and they can mimic Inhuman powers. We learn that Black Widow has been masquerading as an AIM soldier for years, and that she was the one named Tiny Dancer who contacted Khan. After she learns of Khan's capture, she rescues her, and also takes Monica captive. Aboard the Chimera, Bruce attempts to interrogate her, but AIM attacks, which is when Thor joins their side. Monica gets away, but after a bit of internal conflict, the group finally get to the bottom of what happened on A-Day. It turns out that Monica hired Taskmaster to steal a Terrigen Crystal, which triggered the Chimera's autopilot. The reactor inside actually started to pull up a massive object buried beneath San Francisco, and this would have caused the San Andreas fault to destabilize, and thus the world would have been severely devastated. Captain America thus destroyed the reactor and seemingly died. However, we learn that his body was taken by Monica and placed onto a satellite known as the Ambrosia. It's here where Monica makes the adaptoids, and using Cap's body, namely his regeneration powers, she's been harvesting a formula from his blood. Stark rescues Cap, but MODOK learns how the formula is made, and he kills Monica with a lethal dose of it. Angered that there's no cure for him and wanting revenge for looking like Krang from the Ninja Turtles, he decides to destroy all superpowered people on Earth. he launches warships which will disperse Dark Terrigen all over the world, and this will wipe out the Inhumans. He'll probably start to feel better about himself, but the Avengers want to stop him because they don't want him getting a big head. Having that? Now, we learn that MODOK wanted to create a world in which he could control the superpowered, but instead he created the Inhumans, and he sees this as a great failure that he must correct. The Avengers launch an attack on his compound and fight through his forces until they get to MODOK. He unleashes a Kree sentry, which we learn was actually the object that the reactor started to pull up. The group battle it out with him, and he enters the Kree sentry and starts to overpower it, which is when Kamala steps forward to take it down. Khan uses all of her abilities to grow into a giant, and after mastering her powers, she's finally able to destroy it. MODOK falls into the sea and seemingly dies, but you know what, I wouldn't mind seeing him back. Kamala returns to her father as a hero, and even though he was worried about her and just wanted her back, he allows her to join the Avengers, though they agree to keep it a secret. This ends the main game, but as we're dealing with Marvel, we of course get some post-credit scenes. In the first one we learn that Monica actually survived the injection, and this is because she used an Inhuman's cloning ability to copy herself. Monica was secretly the big bad, and was even using MODOK as a lab rat to carry out her experiments. With him gone, she now steps in and takes the position of Scientist Supreme, which will allow her to carry on her work. She's pretty much made an army of herself and will likely rule the company until these are all stopped. Her plans clearly alert the Avengers, as in the final post-credit scene, Maria Hill informs them that she's discovered what Monica's plans are. Since gaining the position of Scientist Supreme, Monica has continued her experiments into cloning and even started to dabble in cosmic energy. We also see that a small pod emerges from the Kree sentry and then it launches into space. So what's going on? Well, aeons ago, I don't know why I said the word aeons, well, never mind. Aeons ago, the Kree launched their sentries across the universe, attempting to find planets to conquer. Because the one on Earth was buried and its pod didn't return, the alien race wouldn't have believed that the planet was worth going to. However, now that this pod is going back, it could alert the Kree to the events that have happened on the planet. This could open the door for Ronin, the Supreme Intelligence, and even Captain Marvel, which I think would all be brilliant inclusions. The Kree are some of the big bads in Marvel, well, depending on which ones you run into, but hey, they will likely be the villains next time. I would love to see them attack the Earth and then have Captain Marvel brought in to help the Avengers take them down. I can see Monica joining their forces, and judging off the Hawkeye DLC that's coming down the line, he may also be working with her. We obviously have a lot of DLC coming too, including the Spider-Man pack, so there's lots of directions that they can go into. I think those add-ons will involve the group investigating Monica's work, and they will likely discover that she's building cosmic energy to potentially work with the Kree. Now, it is possible that this pod also had MODOK in it, and that's one of the theories that I've seen floating around, and potentially he could be going intergalactic to bring something back to take Monica and the Avengers down. There are a lot of possibilities out there, and obviously I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Now, before we get into the review, I just want to let you know we're giving away a free copy of the Christopher Nolan collection to one random subscriber. All you have to do to be in with a chance of winning is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave your thoughts on the game in the comment section below. The winner is going to be chosen at random on the 30th of September, and the set will be shipped out from then to whoever gets the prize, so best of luck to everyone who takes part. Okay, so what did I think of the game overall? Well, I was one of those people that absolutely hated the beta. I was a beta hater, as you would say, and because of this, I just wasn't hyped for it at all. I even cancelled my pre-order at one point, but decided to get it anyway because, what can I say, I'm a Marvel shill. I'm kind of glad that I did though, as I really enjoyed playing it, and though it does get a bit button mashy at times, it's still a lot of fun. Now, if you just want a casual game that you can play the story for and then sell or move on to something else, then this is for you. However, if you're looking for a deeper experience, then it's probably not. The game is full of microtransactions to the point that they should have called it Avengers Spend Game. You having that? Because you spend a lot on the game. And there's also bugs that can break it from time to time. There were points that I just wished that Thanos had dusted me. And yeah, it wasn't fun to get to a point and just have the game suddenly give up on me. The graphics are also pretty so-so, which is a shame because they had a big opportunity to really make this game look incredible, but I feel like they dropped the ball a bit. However, this is a game that really captures the feeling of the Avengers, and as far as a first outing goes, I did really enjoy it. There are enough characters here to really diversify the game to the point that you can pretty much play it how you want to, and it's enjoyable just punching people in the face. It just depends on what kind of experience you want, more than anything, to me anyway. I'm a pretty casual gamer just because I don't really have the time to sit and play things for 70 hours because of work, and therefore I don't mind a quick 9-hour campaign that has a neat little story to it, which I think this does. However, if you want something that's going to be a meaningful experience that you can play for months and months, then this probably isn't for you. I wouldn't say that this game is the complete disaster that it's getting made out to be by some reviewers, but it also had the potential to do so much more, and yeah, it does feel a bit disappointing sometimes. I'm really hoping that they deliver down the line with the live service model they have, but only time will tell. Still, if you enjoy Marvel, I'd say it's worth getting, and it scores a 7 out of 10. Obviously, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the game, so make sure you comment below and let me know. If you enjoyed this video and want something else to watch, then make sure you check out our breakdown of the first 3 episodes of The Boys, which are going to be linked at the end. If you want to support the channel and get to see content early, then please consider clicking the join button below. You can also come chat to us on our Discord server, linked in the description, or Heavy Spoilers on Twitter. Thanks for making it until the end of the video. You've been the best, I've been Definition, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.